There's something I want to talk about. It's something that actually is something I'm afraid of because each time I read the Bible, I always see that phrase and word, that sentence, and there is this kind of feeling it gives me. And the word is the phrase is, "I will punish you and your seed." Each time I read that sentence or that phrase, maybe something it does to me, and I feel there's a kind of reset it gives to my brain. It takes me back to the fights that I fight and I struggle, and the war and the spiritual battles and many things that I fight. Because how would the sins or the actions of a father affect his whole line of generations? There's many times in the Bible where it occurred, but I try my best to live by that statement, or not to live by that statement. I don't know how I'm going to put it, but I try my best that my actions does not affect my generations. Like anything that I do, I pray and I am so, I don't want to say I'm careful, but there is a way that I live my life that I try my possible best not to make my actions affect my generations, my family, my sons, my whatever child or how many sons or how many daughters I'm going to have. I am so scared by that word because I know the things and the battles that me myself am facing. I'm not saying it's my father's fault, but there are things that battles you did not even think matters. You will come to a point in life where those the stages in your life will be affected by the decisions of your father, decisions of your great grandfather, things that they did. Many pastors have talked about this, but for me, there's a part it always hits because I know, it's as if it's a knowing for me that anything you do will affect your generation, will affect your sons, will affect your daughters, will affect your whole line. So it's not just about the bad aspect, it's not about the negative aspect, also goes to the positive aspect. I try to make my life so positive so that the impact that I have on myself, I will also see the traits. I will see it also affecting my generations. For a very long time now, I've been struggling with something, trying to do everything for me, 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 me. This is what I want. But then also it started hitting me that the things that I have to do does not have to be just for me. It has to be the families that is going to come out of me. There are many decisions that I made because I looked at my son and was like, nah, I can't do that to my son. I can't do this to my family. So I don't know whether you get where I'm coming from. There's a point you'll come in life that when you look at your family, you'll be like, I can't do this to them. So many decisions came from that. Many actions came from the fact that when you look at your family, you will say that you can't do that to them because you know that if you take that action, it's going to affect him, or it's going to affect your family. Just for example, I wanted to take there was something that was tempting me to do. The temptation was so strong that I knew I could overcome it, but there was also a voice also in my head that if you do it, what is there? If you do it, there's nobody is there to blame me. But I looked at my son, I was like, is that the kind of a father your son will want to have? Is that the kind of man your son wants to look up to? So me looking at my son and thinking for my son made me made me quit, or made me not to take that action in that moment. So that draws back to what I'm also trying to say is, if I had made that decision, if I had took that action, only to God only God knows kind of I don't know how I'm going to put it, the kind of sin or the kind of spirit that would have been attached to my generations, or the anger or the curse that God will have placed on my life and my generations. So each time I read that word in the Bible, it's just, will be like, how can one man wrongdoing affect his whole generation? And people will grow up and they will be like, my life is not going well, my life is this, my life is that. Not that it's the actions of their fathers, of their forefathers, many, many generations to come. So it takes grace, it takes favor for one to come out of those things, for one to even be aware that there is a cause or there is a word spoken to that family, spoken to that your generations. So I just decided that I should put this out there, and I hope it means something to someone. I'll be doing something like this, just talking on my experience. I'll be doing much of this now on YouTube, but I'm a spoken word artist. I write and I speak. So, but I would like to be doing this more just to talk my experience and my mind, basically.